nice to see you again.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I'm like, I have like this layered question I want to ask, and I think I'm going to just do it in parts. I'll take my turn. So I'm going to start off. I hope I get my words out right. So, this season, usually you do, but especially this season, your character has wonderful advice, and you are working with like perfect talent. You've got Martin, right? You have some
Yep.
wonderful scenes with Martin. Your son, oh my God,
Yep.
he's amazing. And then Kevin.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, choose one or all. When you see that they're going to be your scene partner, what excites you about that?
Yeah, okay, so with Cav, Cav and I are very similar. Like a lot of the things what we hold most dear in our lives kind of lines up with each other. Um, um, so Cav and I always kind of push to do more scenes together. Like we'll say to the writers, "Hey, write some more stuff for us to do," and we both felt that. So a scene that we got to do in the church, no joke, we did the scene and five or six crew members came up to us and said that was our favorite scene. Like it just caused a stir like right away, and we knew when we were doing it that it was something really good. It kind of stands out. It's got its own. I don't know. There's a different weight to it. What we love to do, Cav, my and Cav and myself, and Martin and myself, we love to. Uh, a lot of times we'll take stuff out of the scene. We'll take lines out of the scene because these guys can do a lot with a look. They know each other so well that just a look from each other, it lands. There's just a lot going on between these guys, and we we really want to we really like to kind of honor the folks that were around so long before us because a lot of the folks back in the day they didn't really get a chance to express themselves, or maybe they just didn't express themselves. A lot of things were layered, and there's a lot of nuance to the way people handled themselves back in the day, and we really love to bring that authenticity to the scenes that we have together. With Elias, it's always cool. I get to see my kid. Same thing when Vienna. When to see Vienna do anything, to see Elias do anything, I almost feel like I'm a spectator sometimes. Like I'm just watching them, rather than sometimes I get caught just looking at my kids doing stuff. Oh yeah, I gotta act.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
they're all special. They're each situation is very special. Cav and I, we go way back. We've known each other for a long time. Martin and I were neighbors for years. Our kids went to the same school together. The kids know each other. Elias plays basketball against Cavin's son. It's like we really are a big family, and we just love doing this stuff together. We know how lucky we are. I think that's more than anything. I think Cav and I talk about that the most. We know how lucky we are to be able to be on a show that really respects its audience. That's
mm.
that's the thing that's our favorite. That's our favorite thing. There's some shows that don't really respect their audience, and things go sideways. But we really listen. I think that's the the common denominator between all of us when we're doing stuff together.
That's an amazing answer. It's like more than I thought you would give. I love that. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Well, you let an actor talk. They're gonna talk.
Okay, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Viv, so nice to see you.
Hey, Donna, how you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. The first one's from my mom, who also watches the show religiously with me. We love the scenes with Joseph and Cooper, um, with the fire scenes, and she's
Yeah.
like, "You have to ask Viv for me as a parent, because I think she was going through anxiety just watching it in the show. Did you go through like watching him do those scenes? Did you feel like part of you as the parent, holding your breath, I guess, in a sense?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to kind of um, um, to because we see it put together. We know there's no like when we're filming, it's all broken down into little pieces. There's no real danger. Like the most dangerous thing we did was literally get on the horses, get on and off the horses. That was the most dangerous thing that we did. And but that's a testament to our stunt coordinator Brett and the stunt team and our stunt doubles. Like everything was very well thought out. Actually, speak of the devil, come here, say hi. Hey, look who's here.
Hey, buddy.
How are you? All right, go on now. Okay. Thanks. We we had a really great time doing the scenes, and like what you guys don't see is kind of behind the scenes where we're joking and laughing and cracking jokes and stuff like that in between. Um, Seeing it all put together, honestly, yeah, I'm with you. Seeing it all put together, especially because they added the fire after the fire. That's all. That's CG. That's all special effects. Like there were some pockets of smoke that we were reacting to that the special effects team set up. So like fake smoke, they had billowing out of this direction and this direction. But again, you're watching them do it. They
Yeah.
they do the machines go off and then there's got guys fanning the smoke and you're seeing it all put together. So you know you're safe. There's no danger in that respect. But to see it all cut together with the music and the sound effects and the fire and we're doing our best to kind of come in with oh my god, there's look out and the log falling in front of us and all that. Nothing fell in front of us. It was us that was us reacting to someone going tree, kind of thing. So you don't really get nervous about what you guys saw. What you get nervous about is, like I said, getting on the horse and off the horse. That's where you can. That's where this could all go sideways. Um, I had to ride very quickly past some camera equipment and crew
Wow.
with the horse, and again, horses trip. I was on the horse, and the horse stumbled multiple times. We're running through the forest. It's not even terrain. Horses are sentient animals. They trip like we do. So yeah, there's moments where you're like, whoa, whoa, this is for real. But everything went off well. Again, our stunt coordinator Brett, he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it forever, and everything went smooth. But yes, drop like that's not hard to drop into as a parent. It's not hard to drop into that acting where you're just like, oh my god, because fire is a universal. Everything on the planet is afraid of fire. Everything,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. So no, that's pretty. It's pretty easy to drop into that mode.
You guys killed it. Great work.
Thank you. I love riding the horses. I told him like, hey man, I want to be on the horses more because I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Viv. How are you? It's nice to see you
Good.
again.
You too.
So, my first question for you is when Hardy's look back at season 13, years from now, what emotional imprint or message do you hope it leaves behind?
Oh, um, for me, it feels like you can get through anything when you have community behind you. You can get through anything.
Yeah.
No matter how dark it looks, when you have the support of people around you that care about you and that you care about, you can get through anything. But it's because it really is the fact that this is such an amazing community that has allowed us, the Canfields, to navigate this time. Because the thing that I brought up with our directors and our writers was that, given the Canfields' past with everything that happened with Angela when she was a baby, and different tensions they felt throughout the years. There's some racial tension and whatnot. You know, you kind of you have to look at it like, what would they be feeling if all of a sudden their kid is the one that's looked at as responsible for this? They might feel like this community might not be so welcoming anymore. They in a different place that actually might have been the outcome. So it wouldn't be something that the Canfields would not feel. It's like it's you could feel that, oh, this might wreck our relationship with everybody here because of what has happened.
Mhm.
Seeing the community again rally around and support the boys, it really it cements, especially for Joseph, because Joseph picked Hope Valley as a place to bring his family. So it really cemented, we are safe here. This is our home. This is our community. It really, really, really cemented that, because you could question it if we were somewhere else.
Yeah. That's a great answer. And we're not meant to go through life alone. I think
Yeah,
it's important to have that community. And I always love a show with a good message to it. And I think the world today needs more shows like When Calls the Heart.
I think you're right, and I think that it would be nice. At the end of the day, you kind of look at it like, look, a fire is almost, it's an unfortunate incident, but the fire doesn't care what your socioeconomic status
Yeah.
is. Fire doesn't care what your political affiliations are. Fire doesn't It doesn't care. It is the it's a force that blankets everything. And what happens in a situation like that is people come together, right?
Yeah.
When they're faced with a threat that is greater than all the little things that they squabble about, they come together, and it makes them stronger. And we could use a little bit of that. And I'm not asking for a fire, for anything that's going on, but we definitely could use, a little bit of the Hope Valley spirit around the country.
Yeah.
That could help.
Yes, very true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Viv. I'm Julie from Suspenders Unbuttoned.
Oh, Julie, I know you. Hi, Julie.
I know you too. It's good to see you again
You
after the
too.
panel, and it's that was fun. But Joseph has really had a wonderful storyline this year, where he's been able to minister to the men in the community in a wonderful way, being a friend and a support. What makes those scenes special to you as an actor, and why is it important to show that side of Joseph?
Mm, very good question. What makes it special for me is, and this is kind of and I always feel kind of strange saying this, but it is the truth. I don't know why. I don't know why this is the truth, but the truth is, in real life, I am one of the people that people come to with problems. So all my friends will kind of seek my counsel, or they would be like, "What would you do in this situation?" Or they just come over. Um, I grew up in a house that was the hub. So I have an older brother, younger sister. So all the friends came to our house to hang out, and my parents ended up being parents to a lot of the kids that came over, because there were some kids that didn't have good relationships with their parents. There were some kids that came through that were going through difficult times, dropping out of school, like all these different things. And my parents kind of, they created a safe space for them, and they always knew they could come over. Like my friends would call our place the Cosby Show back in the day, because that's what it reminded them of. It reminded them of that dynamic, and the same is true today for the house that I live in now. So the kids' friends come here, they're safe here. We have extended family. There's people we call family, but they're really friends that we kind of have adopted, like Natasha included. Yeah, people kind of check in with me. I've had uncles throughout the years that have said to me, "You should be a preacher. You should have been a preacher." I spoke at my mom's funeral when I was 23. My mom passed away, and after I spoke, my uncles were like, you should seriously consider being a preacher." And I was like, nah, I know what I'm gonna do. And so this is kind of full circle for me, I guess, as far as playing Joseph. So it it is it's me. That's really the thing. It's like I'm not acting any of that. It's really kind of how I live my life. I don't even know how I stumbled upon this, but like getting to work with my own children, getting to play this guy who is, family means everything. Family's first. It just lines up with the person that I am in real life. So I don't know how I got so lucky. I don't know, but I am.
Well, I believe everyone is very much enjoying this ministry piece that's happening this season.
Thank you. Yeah, it's some of my favorite scenes, especially the scene with Martin and the scene with Cav when the guys are talking. I really enjoyed that. With Minnie, talking with Minnie, Joseph and Minnie, married couple. I there's nothing that Joseph is telling Minnie that Minnie doesn't know. Minnie knows all of that. She already got to that conclusion. He's just kind of reiterating what she already knows, right? But when the guys talk, they're more difficult with their emotions, and so they have to confer with each other because it's a little tougher to get it out if you're especially a guy back in 1920 not gonna divulge how he feels today. He might not. So I'm glad that Joseph is able to help pull that stuff out.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hi,
Thank
Viv.
you.
It's Stephanie from Heart in Motion. Good to see you.
Stephanie, how you doing?
I'm
Good.
great. So you mentioned Minnie. Back in episode 1, we've got a great conversation between Joseph and Minnie where something is kind of lit in Minnie where she wants to peek behind the door
Mhm.
and figure out what's next. We know that the community is coming together to help Minnie out of a jam in this next episode. So
Yeah.
would you say that this is the opportunity that she needs to see what's behind the door and what might be that revelation that she maybe figures out what that revelation is next? Because we know
Yeah.
that anything happening with Minnie is also happening with Joseph.
Yes. Yes. What's really cool is Natasha has been pushing for this since season 8. She's been pushing for because she was like, she said she loves playing a wife and a mother, but to a large degree, she was like, what is Minnie going after? What is Minnie striving for? And she really always was really fond of the idea of business owner, like someone who really pushed and figured out a way to do something that she loves to do and turn it into business. And so, with the cafe, that was the first step. But this lines up with that Minnie has something to do with the business that ends up taking off. It all makes sense, and but the writers and Natasha work together to make this all happen. So it's been cool to watch.
Well, we're excited to see it. And I mean, again, it's anytime that it's happening with Minnie, it's happening with Joseph. We love the Canfields and how everything is them all together. So we're really excited to see it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we are excited to do it. It's always fun getting to get together, and I tell people because there have been folks that have been asking. We will see Angela again. I'm just letting you guys know. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Thanks, Viv.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Actually, that was what I was going to ask. I was saying that what's Vienna been up to this season? How's she doing? She's doing well.
She's doing very well. She's floating around here somewhere, but she's doing really well. Vienna is she loves the industry, and she's excited about everything that has to do with acting and film and television. And she's actually gone on and she's taken some courses for writing. She's taken some courses for cinematography, actually, photography. Like she's very interested in the process of putting together projects, and she's currently writing something that's pretty cool. I'm very excited to see where she goes with it. She directed her first short, starring my wife and her brothers. It was very funny, and yeah, she's been keeping busy with that. And like I said, you will see her. You will see her coming up. So Angela makes a return to Hope Valley. It's very cute.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's good to hear.
yeah.
Hi,
We're
Viv.
very, hi,
Hi, Catherine with Rom-Com Love Podcast.
hi,
Uh,
Catherine.
last time I saw you, we were talking about tater tot hot dish with you and Ben as we were getting our picture taken.
Yeah. Yes, we were.
Where I told him Minnesota is hot dish, not casserole. He's been gone too long.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yes, he agreed.
He agreed, yes. So my question is, when you were first told about the fire storyline and how it was going to allow Elias and Billy to shine, what
Mhm.
was your first reaction?
Yeah, I was like, good, let this kid work more. Like, no, it was like I love these storylines which really caused the community to come together, in a way where when you see them kind of jump into action. I love that stuff. I love all this stuff. Um, because fire is such a huge threat now. Imagine 100 years ago. It's like it devastates us now, and we have so much more capacity to deal with it now. So it was really, really, really serious. A fire is no joke, especially everything you have is made of wood. Like everything. There's no, so it all landed on all of us. Like the cast, when we're filming the scenes, that there's like this scene where we're all standing there and we see that the fire is, out in the forest and we're all reacting to it. It's not, they didn't have to tell us, you didn't have to tell us anything. They just said, look here, like this is where you're going to be looking. And all of us are doing our thing because we all get it. I think it's kind of an innate thing that, I was saying that every being on earth, all creatures on the planet are afraid of fire. Everybody respects that power. And so getting to do these scenes, riding through the forest, and then seeing the finished result when they added the fires and the flames. Man, it was cool. Like I hope we always kick off each season with like a big bang like that. It was a lot of fun to do. So, and I'm like, put me on a horse. You can put me on a horse in the church if you want. Whatever you want to do, put me on the horse. I loved it. It was cool.
Well, I was just gonna say the guys did, or the boys and the guys, they're so young. They did such an amazing job with, we felt that weight,
Yeah,
where they're taking on the responsibility. And so just extra kudos for their role in this whole storyline,
yeah, they,
because
they did a
it
great
tugged
job.
at the heartstrings.
Yeah, they did a great job, and I I know how much my kids are capable of doing. And to a large degree, yeah, the kids don't really get pushed to take on, a lot of things like this. So it was very cool to see them put in this situation because yeah, they loved it. They loved it. I was his support this year. There he is, my buddy. Come here and say hi. Yeah.
Hello. We were just saying how you rocked your storyline, and we felt the weight of the world on your shoulders,
Oh,
and you
thank
and
you.
Billy did such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I get it.
Thanks, Viv.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, so getting back to my original question, this is
Mhm.
my next layer. So Joseph gives really good advice to Henry, really good advice to Lee, and really good advice to Cooper. And it's not really just advice either. You know this because they're your lines. They actually have beautiful meaning. Like I loved I'm not going to get the line correct, but when you're talking to Joseph and Cooper are talking and he's talking about his goodness, and he's like, sometimes it's a good thing because it spills out. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I love
Yeah.
that line.
It ripples out. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, what about Nathan? What kind of advice should Joseph give Nathan? And what kind of advice should Joseph give Lucas? I want to see, what would you say?
Well, it's so so Nathan is a man of action, right?
Yes.
And he 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 can always kind of arrive at the right conclusion. He doesn't necessarily divulge everything he's thinking about. And he has like, the best listener in town. He's got Elizabeth. But as a fellow father and fellow, man who's completely in love with the woman that he's with, there are some pieces of advice that Joseph could give Nathan, but it's really, I think it would be about work-life balance. I think that's what Joseph would end up talking to Nathan about. And with Lucas, um, it would be about following your heart. That is, stay true to that, and don't make sure you say how you feel. That is what Joseph would tell Lucas. Say how you feel.
I love it.
He might be a little he might be a little shy to put himself out there. He might be, but I think good things will happen if he does.
All right. Thank you.
No
All
problem.
right. Piggybacking off of that, I love seeing the evolution of Henry and Joseph's romance, the brotherhood connection, the friendship.
Hmm.
And we've seen so much that Gowan has been probably one of the toughest, to break through.
Yeah.
But at what point do you think Joseph broke through with Gowan that what we've seen now is Gowan feeling comfortable talking to him?
Yeah, with Henry, see, Henry wouldn't be like he would be similar to a lot of the men in the community. Um, it would be something that Joseph would be pretty used to dealing with. A lot of these guys in the community were like the strong, silent type. It's really kind of in actuality, people from that generation. I know a couple generations after that, it was called the silent generation. So I mean that tells you, how they conducted themselves. They didn't divulge what was going on with them. Held it all, kept everything inside. You know, dealt with it all quietly. So it wouldn't be something that Joseph wasn't used to seeing. It would be more of an anomaly to be Joseph than to be Henry. Henry is like what most men would probably be like. What most people would probably be like. This is what they're dealing with was, things were heavy. The costs were heavy back then. Um, so with Henry, you have to you got to let him come to you. You can't you go to him. He's probably just gonna shut down. So let him come to you, and very slowly, it will come out. But you can't rush it. He is not to be rushed. He'll get there when he gets there. There's a lot of layers to Henry. To me, honestly, watching Martin, I often get caught just watching Martin because Martin Cummings is a fascinating person. There is so much going on with my guy. My dude is he he's lived 1,000 lifetimes in
Mm.
a very short period of time. He's an incredible dad. Oh my God, he loves his kids so much. He's an incredible grandfather. Loves his grandson a ton. Yeah, he is. Martin is just one of the best people that you could ever hope to be around, and I'm fortunate that I was neighbors with him for years, and so we just would stop and chat on the street for hours. Um, I'm just lucky I have that relationship with him. So what you see between Joseph and Henry is what goes on between Viv and Martin. So that's
You
that's
can,
just, yeah. You can
you
I know
can,
you can feel it.
you can definitely, you've so many moments between the both of you, and it rang true to my heart. It's beautiful to see. So it makes total sense.
Oh yeah, honestly, there's so many shows that I've watched during growing up and even now, and when you find out that the cast actually care about each other and actually hang out, it just makes everything better. It's like when they're actually really good friends,
Yeah.
then you can spot like the ad libs, then you can spot the real laughter, the
Yeah.
real hug. You see it, and that's what happens with all of us. Like we chat all the time, and we tell each other, oh, you, love you. Like we all care about each other so much, and I know how lucky I am to be a part of this cast. It's very very cool.
Well, I speak for many of us. We're blessed to have you, my friend.
Thank you, thanks,
You're
Don.
welcome.
So, following up with Donna's question, parties have loved or enjoyed seeing the developing friendship between Joseph and Henry over the past few seasons. What do
Mhm.
you love most about their dynamic? And who is another character in Hope Valley you'd love to see him have a closer relationship with in the future or a friendship?
Yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, with Henry and Joseph, they can just they can just exist in front of each other very easily. It's kind of interesting. There is a different dynamic between when Joseph is with Lee. There's a different dynamic than when Joseph is with Henry.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of Henry and Joseph's relationship, there's a portion of that relationship where it was really Henry kind of asking questions, how to do this, very slowly coming around to being able to speak about how he feels. Lee doesn't have that problem at all. Lee can express himself, right? He was more connected to himself, how he felt about things. Lee talking to Lee is you don't have to. He knows what he's done. He knows all the things that he might have needs to fix or needs to change. You just have to kind of show him. You just have to show him, and he already knows. He gets there. Henry, you like I said, you have to let him come to you. You can't go to him and say, "Hey, you should be thinking about this." No. He's got to come to you, and then because that's when he wants to get there. When he wants to get there, cool, he'll get there. If he doesn't want to get there, it's not gonna happen. Even he was a man of God praying, no, it's not gonna happen because Henry's he's more of a wall than Cabot is. But I would say, and there's been a couple of instances where I've gotten a chance to work with Ben, and the scene from last season where Ben he wants to do the solo in the choir, and we're at the cafe and we're like singing to each other. Man, I was dying of laughter. It was so fun. Ben's hilarious. He's actually so funny. So it's like the kind of comedians on our cast,
Yeah.
Kevin, Chris, myself, Ben, like with the Rock are super funny. Uh,
Yeah.
Pascal, like there's a lot of comedians on the stage. Jack has his own, he'll be like straight face, but like cracking a joke. Again, Aaron, same thing. Aaron's very dry sense of humor. Everybody's got that. Everybody has the ability to make people laugh, and getting us all together, man, it's fun. But Ben and so Hickam and Joseph, I watch those two stuff. I just start laughing. It's I can't say enough about Ben Rosenbaum. That's my guy.
I love that answer, and I would love to see them develop a closer friendship. And then going back to Joseph and Henry, I think one of the best scenes ever on this show, like this is in probably my top 10 best scenes of the show, is the one in season 9, episode 12, the finale with in the jail.
In the
when
jail,
he asks Joseph to help him pray.
Yeah.
So powerful.
It was. I got caught a bunch of times just looking at Martin doing stuff. I didn't have to. I didn't like. I don't know, man. I get a chance to be on the show and do stuff, and for the most part, I'm just like oh, this is cool. That's all I'm doing the whole time. Just like, man, this is good. Man, this is good. I love that scene. That scene was very good. Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, Viv.
Hi. Hey, there you are.
Yeah, it's my turn
You
finally.
made it. Yes.
Okay, so Joseph carries himself with such a calm authority. Where do you imagine that his grounded strength comes from in his backstory? Because we don't really know that much about Joseph.
Yeah. I've said in different interviews that like I really line up with Joseph because in real life I'm someone that people come to with stuff. So I've done what he does. Like I counsel people, and I've been doing it for a long time. I have my older brother Richard. He's 6 years older than me, and the first person I ever like counseled about a relationship problem was a friend of his in his grade who called his. So my brother had a landline in his room back in the day, which was a big deal, right? He had his own landline, and he was always telling me, "Don't answer my phone," because I was 10 years old when he got it. I shouldn't be answering his phone, but of course I did. I answered his phone. So he's 16, she's 16, I'm 10 years old. She calls looking for my brother. I pick up the phone, and she's crying. This one friend of his is in tears because she expected that it was going to be my brother that answered the phone. So she was already crying. So she told me what the problem was. It was a boy situation, and she was very upset. And I gave her some advice. I told her what to do about the guy, about the boy. And she was like, "How could you know this? You're 10 years old." And I was like, "Trust me, I know what I'm talking about." I said, "You do this, 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 and this tomorrow, and tell me what happens." She did the things that I said. The boy did an about face, and they ended up going on this date together, and it was like happily ever after. And she called back, and my brother answered the phone, and she's like, "Can I speak to your little brother?" I had successfully given her advice that helped the situation she was in. And I guess I was hooked from that point on. And I became that person that did all the time. So I line up with Joseph in that respect. That's what I do in real life. The spiritual component is something that, again, resonates with me. When I was a little kid, I used to walk around with the Bible. I don't know why. Couldn't read yet. I was like 2 or 3. But I would walk around with a little Bible. And fun fact, it is the Bible that I picked for Joseph to carry around looks like the Bible that I carried around when I was a kid. So
yeah,
I probably went far away from the question you asked me.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I think we can all imagine that Joseph did very similar things. He might not have had a phone line, but
no phone line.
maybe giving advice, from
Yeah, you know what? It's I don't know where it comes from. I honestly don't. I guess it's like Joseph. It's like it's a calling. It's just something that you have. I am, my mom was very patient, very patient for people. She made a lot of room, a lot of space for people. She babysat a lot of the kids in the neighborhood, and she took care of people. And my father, he was he was like the best friend you could ever want. He would, no matter what someone needed, he would drop everything and go help them. And I watched my parents be those people.
Mm.
And I have an uncle. Like I kind of like Joseph is an amalgamation of like my father and two of my uncles. One uncle being very, very religious, very, very, very like devout Christian, and the other uncle just he is the person that I would go to for anything, and he always was level-headed. I never saw this man lose his cool. Always had the best advice, and he did that for everyone. So Joseph is all those guys put together, and I am a bunch of people put together. I guess it's so that's where it comes from.
Yeah. Well, I love that. I love that Joseph is so special to you and so meaningful. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you,
Thank,
Viv.
thank you.
Viv, one thing that we love as Hardys is the little bitty moments that are throughout the series, throughout each episode. And, on a rewatch, we're always picking up on something else. And I was rewatching episode 4 last night, and the scene where Toby and Cooper go to the mounting office to talk to Nathan and Bill. And I noticed that Joseph is standing behind Cooper, and his hand is there just kind of comforting him in this very just subtle way there the whole time as a father figure. And then what's really amazing is that when he and Minnie stay there, Joseph is still doing that same thing. So I'm curious, was that something that's, you said Viv is Joseph and Joseph is Viv. Was that something that, was intentionally put in there, or was it just natural for you? And can you just talk about filming that scene in general, because it was such a powerful moment?
Yeah, that is me. I actually today, Vienna was making fun of me because so she was like standing behind my other son Lennox, who was sitting on a chair, and she was standing behind him, and she was like massaging him. She's like, "Dad, this is what you do." And so she was making fun of me, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You always you're tactile. You always put a hand." And I do that. That is the truth. I'm protective. And so I get called out for this. My wife will be like, we'll be standing up talking to people, and I'll put my arm around her. Like I don't know what it is. It's just a protection thing. So I do that in real life. And so a lot of times, like I said, when I'm being Joseph, I'm being Viv, and that's me, just wanting to comfort someone I care about. That's really it. It's like, and I don't even know I'm doing it sometimes. I don't even know I'm doing it. So, and what was the second part of your question?
So talk about that scene in general, because you just naturally
Yes.
that played out perfectly in that moment.
Yeah, I it was this thing where I knew that what Bill and Nathan are saying is very scary. What we're talking about here is very serious, and so it was really. And my wife Davina said to me the other day, we were talking about a portion of time that we went through, kind of early days when all three kids were very young, and she wasn't working, of course, because she had just had Elias, and everything was on me. And she said, "You never let anything bad or upsetting get to me. You always kept it all away from me." And so she was referring to something that was happening now, and she's like, "Are you just telling me that you're cool with it because you're trying to spare me from feeling bad?" I'm like, no. I'm like, I would tell you if it was something that rattled me. I'm like, when you see that happen, then you can worry. And I said, but it's not going to happen. I am not going to get rattled. I am going to always be your rock, no matter what. That's my job. And so that's what I'm doing. I am making sure that, yes, we're hearing some very hard words from our Mounties, but we're going to be just fine. We're going to get through it. That's the deal. I'm not going to let anything happen. I won't. And that's I think that's the physical. I think that's why I do that in real life.
Well, it played really well, and we appreciate the protective nature. I mean, not only with Joseph, with his family, but Joseph is that way with his friends as well, and the community. So
yeah.
So keep on putting your hand on people's shoulders.
I will. I'll tell Vienna that you said so.
So would you say that you and Natasha have similar acting styles? And if yes or no, what have you learned from her as far as being a better actor?
Natasha is she's very she's more kind of locked in with everything that's it's hard to describe, but like I ad lib a lot. It's like I think it's Cav and I work really well together because we both ad lib a lot. Just like you can see that Cav and Pascal, they ad lib a lot. They're both similar. Natasha and I pretty close as far as how we do things. She's a lot better at memorizing lines than I am. She's really, really good at it. I've been blown away by that ability that she has. But we clicked really well very early, and like I think our styles complement each other. They're closer together than they're further apart. But like she just, I know that I have to start looking at the material sooner because I'm watching Natasha and how prepared she is. I like to not set it because I actually like to. It makes me be in the moment when it's not quite solid, not quite set. It allows me to kind of, I feel, be a little more kind of fluid with the scenes and what comes up because I haven't set it. I haven't decided. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. I know I can react in real time. I know I have the ability to. It sometimes I feel like it makes it unfair for my scene partner because I change things every single time, every single take. I will change the way I do something, but it's like that's what happens in real life. You know, that's the way I look at it. This is what happens in real life. You have a conversation with someone 5 times, it's not going to look exactly the same way 5 times. It will not. It can't because everything that happens, you know, in the first time you talk is going to be different the 5th time you talk. So I kind of bring that. I sometimes feel bad that that's kind of how I do things because, like I said, I don't ever leave my scene partners hanging. I'll say that I don't leave them hanging. If there's a cue line, if there's something they need to hear, if there's something that I need to do that makes them do what they're doing, that stuff is solid. But I leave a lot of what I'm doing kind of not set because I'm really listening to what they do. I'm watching what they do very intently because I like to be that person that's just like reactive kind of thing. So I never know if it's like making my scene partners upset or not. But everybody, they say they love me still, so I guess it's still fine.
Does she ever let her accent slip?
No,
like,
no. She's pretty solid. I try to speak like her, and she's like, "No, mate, no." I can't help it though. It's like you get just anytime she's talking, I just want to break into British, and she's like, "No." So fun though.
Yeah.
So Viv, what is a storyline that you would like to dive into for Joseph? And maybe in a way that the community is helping him in a different, like him specifically for something that's happening to him and not just the family, because he's always taking care of everyone else.
Yeah, you know, so Natasha and I have kind of we've created a backstory for the Canfields, for both Minnie and Joseph, from when they met, how everything went down, everything. We've talked about it all, and it's kind of come up a couple of times, but there is tension between Joseph and Minnie's father, which happens, quite often in families. But we've never gotten to really explore that because there's just a way that that Minnie's father makes Joseph feel. It's just Minnie's family had more money and reach than Joseph's family, and Minnie kind of left a level of income and a level of safety to venture off with Joseph. And, if you think, it's like she makes that choice, she makes that move, she goes with Joseph. And, not too long after that, their daughter is blind. It's like, it's a parent, her father, her mother could look at that situation and be like, we told you to go this way, you wanted to go that way. It's just a way that Joseph might feel. It's not anything we haven't delved into it, but we looked at it and we're like, oh, that would definitely be something that he would feel responsible. You might feel guilty that, like, I took your daughter away from the status that she had, to the point that even in the face of, we need money for a lawyer to defend our child who possibly might be on the hook for a lot of money. Even in the face of that, we still don't ask for help from her parents, because that is a sore spot. That is something that, and we haven't explored it, but it's the reason why that wasn't an option. It wasn't an option, and it's not anything that the viewers could know, but that's not an option. Getting help from Minnie's family, who could afford to help us. No, not doing that. We'll figure it out. So.
Well, as a team, I would say we are all team backstories and learning more about our characters. So can't wait to see that. Hopefully we'll see it on screen sometime.
I hope so too. I think you will.
Okay, I think that brings us right up to 4 p.m. I will stop recording.
Oh, I'll just get started.